And this is Bob from Kana Odyssey. Today I'm going to give you a reading for Cancer. Now I haven't made a video this week because we're in the process of moving from one house to another. Not our shop. Our shop is still in Reddinger Flea Market in Mount Dora, and it will be there forever, hopefully, because we love that place. It is magnificent. Okay, anyway, we're going to get right to the reading today. Cancer. I see a mixed bag for you, but mostly good. But I do see a mixed bag. Now, as you know, when I read cards, most people know, I use 3 different decks. I use a oracle deck for speaking with the angels or your guides. I use a spirit deck helping me also to communicate with the spirits. And then I use a regular tarot deck. Okay. So, and I also use a deck that tells me about love a lot of times also. Okay, so let's get right to the reading. I do have a mixed bag here for you. We'll start with the tarot. When the tarot is telling me that you seem to be having difficulties in some relationship, not every Cancer, but some, you're having a difficulty. You seem to be carrying a heavy load you feel by yourself as well and dealing with other people's problems. That's going to pass. Because what I do see also is I'm going to go to this side first, the spirit deck. The spirit deck tells me, number one, you need to move ahead without fear. This is what this card represents. Moving yourself in a spiritual way out of it without fear. Move ahead on the things that you understand that are good for you, and you have to make that decision. In other words, if you're in a situation that is not good for you, mentally or physically in some way or another, don't be afraid to either speak up or move on. Don't be afraid. You have to move on to make your life good. Now, I also see that new beginnings are going to start to happen for you. But you have to be able to understand, you have to allow them to happen for you. See, even though I'm looking at your cards, they look good, but what I'm seeing is that you have, like here, life brings new meaning to you. That's what that card would represent for me when I do it. Now, I also see that you have the egg. And the egg is a card which tells us that what's going to happen is that new beginnings are also going to start for you. See, so you have one saying life will bring new meaning, and then you have the egg, and the egg is saying that something new will be reborn for you. Be born for you. Whenever you see an egg, it is new life. There's something new for you. Balance will also be restored for you. This is what they're telling me. They're also telling me that you have to set your heart free. And what that means, that doesn't mean you have to set yourself away from a lover or something. Setting a heart free is to be able to understand and receive love, understand ourselves. See, sometimes our heart is entwined with something or somebody, and it's difficult for us to really love ourselves and understand ourselves because we're always worried about something else. That's why you have this card. That card shows that you're dealing with other people's situations and, you're juggling things around. You must let go of that. In order to let go of that, you have to make certain decisions. For instance, if you are in a situation that brings you misery, how long do you really want to be miserable? When do you want to be able to live your life for you? And when I say live your life for you, that's not being greedy. What that is being is to understand you are a soul. In spite of the fact that you have a family, you have a lover, you have this and the other thing, you're still a soul. And the soul is on a journey in the evolution of the soul. To be able to pick itself higher and higher, to reach perfect understanding, to reach enlightenment. So you have to take your soul into consideration as well. Our soul is here learning about many, many different things. But when things get too bad, what ends up happening is it gets sort of confused. And yes, the soul can get confused because it is a big thing to go from the spirit world to living in the human world, especially here on earth. And yeah, confusion can happen. This is what we don't want to do. We want to preserve ourselves for that. Now, on the other side, Now, I told you what the tarot says and what the spirits are telling me. Now, I also see here that success can be there for you. And you have to stop worrying, which will go together with the sit in your heart. I mean, move ahead without fear. You need to stop worrying. Recovery, also, for some of you cancers that are not well, recovery is going to be coming to you. For others, recovery is in an emotional way. You will recover emotionally if you allow yourself to, and you will. Your situation will improve. This is what this card would represent. It's very important. Now, if you pay attention to what's happening in your life, really take a really good look at your situation and you evaluate it. Many people live in fear a good part of their life, whether it is from being married, whether it is on a job, whether it is from whatever. This is what you need to let go of. You must reach out spiritually. Understand the spirits. They will help you in every single way. Understand yourself. Now, if you do all of that, the card that I see is most impressive for you is this card here, the Kundalini card. Kundalini is a card that says to us that we need to find that zest for life again. Sometimes when we are beat down in one way or another, whether it is what is mentally beat down or it is physically beat down, we sort of lose a lot of confidence. A lot of us don't want to admit that we lost a certain amount of confidence, and I understand that. Again, pride. Pride is a very bad thing. Pride is wonderful if you are doing it because you're a wonderful artist, you're proud of your work. If you're proud of your beautiful children, that's different. But when pride stops you from grabbing opportunity, no matter how it comes, that is very bad. It's a two-edged sword. Now, I mean, it's like fear, for instance. Fear was given to us by the gods. And why was it given to us? It tells you when to get the hell out of the way if there's a problem. When you walk into a room and all of a sudden the hair stands up on the back of your neck and you know there's been a problem. So you sort of get that rush of a little bit of fear. That is telling you get out of the way, sidestep danger. However, if you allow fear to become a monster, it will eat you. And pride, the same thing. Pride can help us to be able to make different strides in our life. Pride in what we are doing, pride in our accomplishments. But when pride starts to stop you from hurting yourself, stop you from not hurting yourself, then it becomes a problem. When pride, if you look at something that is tremendously heavy, and you go, I can lift that, even though you know you can't. But in front of all your friends, I'm going to try it and get a hernia. I'm going to try. That is bad. That is bad. That is pride. That makes you do that. Because it hurts your pride to think, if these people think I can't do that, of course I can. These are things that you need to understand. But not in that scope, in different ways. Look at yourself. Understand who you are. There are wonderful things in store for you. Wonderful things. And another card that I did pull for you is here. This card tells you that you must forgive situations. And when I say forgive a situation, I'm not saying if somebody cheats on you, if somebody smacks you in the head, you forgive right away. Nothing like that. But sometimes what happens, we get a job or we get into a relationship, whatever it might be, and we look back, there was something in the past of that situation, that person, or whatever it is. And it brings us anger. That is dead and gone, what happened in the past. So you forgive every situation. If your lover, for instance, had an extra amount of partners, People get angry for that sometimes. Even though you weren't involved with them, they get angry because that person was too active. You must forgive. Every situation, your situation, whatever person that you're involved with or whatever situation you're involved with, starts from the time you meet and they move forward. Nothing to do with before that. Before that, there's nothing to do with you. Nothing. Maybe they found you and they found total true love and they're not going to have a lot of partners anymore. Whatever. You must forgive. Forgive every situation. And even if somebody wrongs you now, or a situation wrongs you now, you still have to forgive. You do not have to ever go near that person or that job or whatever it is again. But you forgive because you're forgiving you. You're picking up your life, your soul. You don't carry this heavy burden of aggravation, fear, anger every time you think of a situation. You want to let all that crap go. So you forgive. So that spiritually you and your soul can move ahead. This is what you need to do. And then I want to tell you, your cards are magnificent, Cancer. You have a good future coming up. Things look very good for you, but you must allow it to happen. If you allow it to happen, you will be magnificent in every single way. So allow it to happen. Okay? All right. That is going to be the reading for you today.